Haven't played Minecraft in a while. Let's see what's new to the game. New sheep, cows, pigs, chickens, flowers, and the firefly entity that was supposed to be in the game since 2022? Nah, I'm good. Wait. Rideable Ghasts? Yup, that was me, and probably you at the first sight of seeing the Happy Ghasts. This is gonna be awesome! But wait. I have to wait until the summer to play this update in the main game? But I want Happy Ghasts now! Wait, I have an idea. I'm gonna make my own Happy Ghasts. Yeah, my own Minecraft mod. And I'm gonna add my own features. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if you could shoot fireballs out of Happy Ghasts, like a turret? Yeah, this is gonna be awesome! But Blaze, you haven't even made a Minecraft mod since like 2019, nor have you ever used Fabric. How the hell are you gonna pull this one off? Shut the fuck. First, I have to make a new Fabric project, which is a modding platform that allows us to add things into Minecraft. After getting everything set up, now it's time to begin. And, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, I guess we should start off with a checklist. Well, first I want to add the Happy Ghast and its baby variant, the Ghastling, which will be spawned using dried gas blocks, which you can find in the Soul Sand Valley, and then put water on in order to hydrate it to eventually become a Ghastling. We'll also want to add different colored harnesses that you can equip onto the Ghast, which makes it rideable and allows you to go around flying with it. We'll also want to add in functionality to be able to stand on top of the Ghast so you can place blocks off of it. And for my own features, I want to add some power-ups to the game, which lets you make the Ghast faster or add that fireball feature I talked about earlier, some unique advancements and a reward for completing them all, and some other additions that I'll talk about later. Oh yeah, by the way, there's nothing on this piece of paper. It doesn't even matter. Let's start off by implementing the Happy Ghast. Luckily, this will be pretty easy, as all we have to do is take the original Ghast model and add a new texture onto it. I'm not a huge fan of the original Happy Ghast texture. It just looks a little bit too shaded for my liking, so I'm gonna make a new one that looks a bit more pixelated and a little bit more like it belongs in Minecraft. Don't worry though, I have a plan to implement that shaded texture into the mod later, so keep watching. And now it works perfectly! Is this a bad time to tell you guys that I'm delusional? Okay, now it works perfectly. Of course, right now they still act like regular ghasts, so we'll have to go ahead and change that later. I also designed a Ghastling mob, which is pretty easy as well. All we have to do is take the original ghast, give it a new texture, and scale it down. Wait, how do we scale down a mob? Oh, yeah, the scale attribute. I definitely knew that. I definitely didn't ask the Fabric Discord on how to do that. I would never do such a thing. Why would you do that? Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that in this video. Thanks, Fabric Discord. Add in some spawn eggs, which is very easy thanks to the intuitive tutorial on the Fabric Wiki. And ta-da! We have the mobs. While we're on the topic of easy things, creating the model for the dried gas block was actually pretty easy thanks to Blockbench. Thank goodness Blockbench is nothing like Blender. And now all I had to do was take the Blockbench model and add it into the game. Should be pretty easy enough. What? Why is there a hole under it? Well, at least the waterlog state kind of works. No more endless abyss under it, but still not great. Yes, perfect. Now we have all three blocks in the game. We'll also code in to check to make sure it is waterlogged, and if it is, it will switch between the variants until it finally becomes a Ghastling. We'll also code in that if you leave it outside of water, it will eventually turn from a hydrated ghast back to a dried ghast. And we can do this all using a random tick, which is exactly how copper blocks get oxidized in Minecraft as well. Now you may also know that Mojang added in a dried ghast recipe, so you can craft life inside of Minecraft. I thought this was pretty weird, but in order to stay true to the original version, I decided to switch things up a little bit. Yes, you can still craft the dried ghast, but now you're going to need a ghast soul. I mean, it makes a lot more sense. If you're gonna craft life, you need a soul, right? So I can't believe how easy this has been so far. Yeah, we've had a couple bugs here and there, but nothing too major. And honestly, if everything goes as smoothly as we should be done in no time. What the heck? What the fuck? Oh no. Hey guys, it's been a while since I last talked to you about whatever that was earlier, but yeah, so remember how I talked about being able to equip harnesses onto ghasts and being able to ride them after you do that? Yeah? Yeah, it turns out that's not easy at all. Let me tell you my tale. It started off so pleasant, downloading the harness textures off of the Minecraft wiki and adding them into the game. Textures, laying files, it was a great time. But then, the Dark Ages. Rendering the harness model! I first started off by checking the Strider entity for reference, and it led me to adding some sort of feature, so I aimlessly copied code from the Strider, just hoping that somehow I would be able to make this feature that I needed. Nothing made sense though. Where was I supposed to add the texture for the harness? How did it know what harness corresponded to what color texture? How was I even supposed to make the harness texture? For hours upon hours, I stumbled through code, pleading in the Fabric Discord, looking for something, someone, to lead me to the light at the end of the feature tunnel. Various travelers on Discord offered me with some guidance, but nothing ended up leading me to a concrete solution. Was it even possible to make this harness appear on the ghast? Was I ever going to be able to finish this mod? Only one thing could tell us for sure. The play bar! The play bar! There's still so much time left in this video! It must be possible! And yes, it was. A fellow modder on Discord advised me to go around looking for GitHubs of people who have already made the Happy Ghasts mod to see what they did. And that's when I stumbled upon the GitHub of the mysterious Frozen Block. They graciously shared their code as long as I too shared my code, and I had no problem with doing that. The only problem was that their code used the mythical Moji Maps mapping language, something that an inexperienced modder like me could not understand. Luckily, I was able to use a tool called Linky made by the mysterious She Daniel that was able to help me translate these foreign scrolls. Despite this, however, it still did get pretty confusing, but at least with this tool, I was able to make my way through it. Thanks to Frozen Block, I figured out that I needed to make my own harness model through Blockbench and create parts that separated the body from the goggles. From there, I could input the model into the mod, and through render states, be able to change whether the goggles were up or down. I could also turn the harness items into equipable items using components, and through equipable components and mappings, correspond each harness item to their respective color. Now, the only thing I had to do was tell the game how to render a harness, which should be pretty easy. What the heck is that? That, my friend, is a layer type enum. It's a necessary part of rendering a feature, telling the game which equipment to render onto an entity. However, lucky me was making a custom equipment type, and thus I had to make a custom layer type enum. And let's just say the way that Frozen Block did it did not work for me. So I was going to have to come up with a completely different solution. Looks like I was on my own yet again. If it wasn't for the Fabric Discord and Manningham Mills! No, not the silk factory in Manchester, England, which was burned down in 1871. No, the library that lets modders make their own custom Minecraft enums. Exactly what we needed right here. Now the readme is interesting. In a harmonious world of mixins and the occasional scary reflective hack, Fabric resides. For a simple injection of additional exploiting Extender's Cove, waiting for high tide, docking at the jetty, plundering the booty. What the fuck? We're just gonna ignore it and pretend I didn't even read it. Anyway, using this library, I could create my own custom layer type, and then after resizing the harness texture, oh my gosh, it works, thank you Mojang. Well, looks like we can get out of here now and never look back. Bye! Another thing checked off. Hope it's going to be as smooth sailing from here. Get it? Cause Manningham Mills, right? Yeah, okay. With the help from Frozen Block's GitHub, I was able to set up the passenger positions to make riding the ghast with 4 passengers actually possible, as well as create the Happy Ghasts AI so it actually functions as a Happy Ghast. Pretty important. On the topic of AI, I also added a function into the Gasling AI where the Gasling can actually come up to you and give you hugs. Little heart particles come out. I think it's really cute. It doesn't do anything, but I just think it was a kind of cool thing to add. Alright, now that we have the basic Happy Ghast mechanics working, we can finally get to adding some of my own features. I thought that being able to fuse power-ups onto your Happy Ghast to make it a lot better would be a really cool idea, so I got to work. First, I had to add an inventory onto the Happy Ghast and make a screen to go along with it so you can actually access it, which is pretty effortless by modifying the hopper screen and by making a new handled screen with the help of the Fabric Discord. I then coded in some custom slots so you can put in the 5 different power-ups I created. The speed upgrade, which greatly increases the speed of the Happy Ghast and makes it more on par with the Elytra, and can be found in End City chests. The strength upgrade, which increases the resistance of the Happy Ghast and makes it harder to damage, and can be found in Ancient City chests. The heart upgrade, which gives the Ghast double the health, and can be found in Woodland Mansion chests. The fireball upgrade, my personal favorite, which lets you shoot fireballs out of the Ghast like a freaking turret by using the sprint key every 5 seconds, and can be found in Nether Fortress chests. And finally, the Happy Royalty upgrade. This one is given if you complete all of the Happy Ghast related advancements I added into the game, and gives your Happy Ghast a crown to wear, which I think looks pretty cool. Speaking of advancements, let's go over them now because there's some pretty cool ones. Using data gen, I was able to create a bunch of different advancements which allow you to undertake some cool objectives and see if you're actually a Happy Ghast pro. Some of them are basic, like obtaining the 4 different power-ups, but some of the other ones involve taking your Ghast to the Nether. Yeah, I'm sure that won't be traumatic for them at all. Taking them to the Nether won't make them happy. And, I mean, rightfully so, you took them back to the place they were suffering in. You better take them right back to the overworld, though, because if you abandon it in the Nether and wait 2 minutes, it'll turn right back to a normal suffering Ghast. And you'll get the resulting advancement forever to remind you of your evil betrayal. Absolutely disgusting.
But please, don't you have to abandon the Ghast to get the Happy Royalty advancement?
Oh, wow. Did you guys hear that? Must have been the wind. Anyway, I also made another advancement where if you kill a normal Ghast with a Happy Ghast Fireball, you get the Friendly Fire achievement. Get it? Because you're killing their own kind? Another advancement is taking your Happy Ghast to the end, which is a journey I'm sure they'll never forget. And you also get to the end and back achievement. But Blaze, how will they fit in the end portal? They're massive! Well, you'll have to figure that one out on your own. But trust me, it's completely possible in survival mode without any glitches. No having to destroy the end portal or something like that. Make sure to comment down below if you figure out the solution. I also thought it'd be cool that, like the Uneasy Alliance achievement, you can also take a Ghast to the overworld, and if you wait 2 minutes, it will turn into a Happy Ghast. You get the Easy Alliance advancement for doing so, and I thought this one was pretty cool as you can save Ghasts from their suffering. How adorable. I also added some basic advancements for spawning in a Ghastling and spawning in a Happy Ghast, and also some very easy advancements of feeding your Ghast 1,000 and 10,000 snowballs respectively for these 2 advancements. No biggie. As a reward for feeding your Ghast 10,000 snowballs, you'll get the Golden Snowball, which is an unlimited food source for your Happy Ghast that heals it up to full health, so you'll never have to worry about your Ghast dying ever again. Make sure to ping me in my Discord server, link in description, if you end up getting the Happy Royalty advancement, because I'd love to see if anyone can get all these advancements in survival Minecraft. As I mentioned before, I wanted a way to keep the original Ghast texture in the game somewhat. I didn't really think it fit the normal Ghasts, so I thought it kind of looks like it's aging, right? It kind of looks like an elderly Ghast. So I decided to add aging. You may have heard of it before. It happens in real life. You know, old people. So over time, your Ghast will become more and more aged. After 2 hours of in-game playtime, it will look like this, and after 4 hours of in-game playtime, it will look like this, an elderly Ghast. Honestly, I think it looks pretty cute, and for an only aesthetic feature, I think it's pretty cool. And finally, I added in the Nether fossils with the dried Ghast block so it spawns naturally. All I did to do this was just replace half of the fossils to have that block in it. I don't think that's what you're supposed to do at all, but it works good enough. All right, we are finally done adding in the ultimate Happy Ghast. Or at least my poorly made imitation of it. One thing I should point out before we end, standing on top of the Ghast, like I mentioned earlier as a feature, yeah, that's kind of glitchy. It doesn't really work very well. Maybe at some point in the future I'll fix it, but at the time of recording this, it's already May 10th. Yeah, I need to get this out, so it's just gonna have to be the way it is. I'm sorry. The mod is now available to download on CurseForge and Modrinth. It's only available on Fabric right now. I don't really plan on porting it to anything else, but yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy it. It took me a long time to make it, at least a long time for me, I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys truly enjoy it, and thank you guys so much for watching. Wait, what the heck? Mojang just released a new snapshot, and it added new leash mechanics. Are you f***ing kidding me? Thank you to Frozen Block for sharing their code on GitHub for me to use. It was a huge help in making the mod. And thank you to everyone on the Fabric Discord for helping me as well. I think it turned out really well for the first mod I released in like 6 years. Do not ask me to port it to Forge or NeoForge. I will cry.
Blazin'.